Thank you, Ryan.
Of course.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning to everybody and welcome. We will call to order the regular meeting of the Lawrence County Commissioners. Today is Tuesday, February 11, 2025. A couple matters of housekeeping. We are live streaming the meeting and we're also recording the meeting. And would request anybody that has a cell phone, if they please put it on silent or vibrate. We appreciate you doing that. We always begin our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Then we'd ask you to remain standing for a moment of silence. Commissioner Kennedy, could you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you please remain standing, we'll have a moment of silence. Thank you, everybody. Ryan, could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Sonato?
Here.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Here.
Commissioner Vogler?
Here. We do have a quorum. We, during the course of the meeting, we'll have two opportunities for public comment. One in just a few moments and then one before we adjourn. You're welcome to speak both times or one time, or if you're just here to listen, that's also fine. We ask that your comments be related to county government matters and that you try to limit your time to about 5 minutes or so if you could, please. Next on the agenda, row officer reports and comments. We always set aside time in case any row officers happen to be with us and wish to speak, but today none of them are here. That takes us to public comment. Let me open it up and see if anybody in the audience has any public comment at this time. Hearing and seeing none, thank you. We'll move on. Under fiscal and contractual, we do have in our packet a proposed resolution for a repository bid. However, at this point, we do not have all the necessary documentation to allow us to move forward on this, and we have had consultation with the tax claim director. It's probably best, I would assume, that we maybe table this. But before we take any action, what number would this be, Ryan?
25.
25, thank you. But let me open it up to both of my colleagues to see what their thoughts or wishes might be.
Yeah, I have no problem tabling it until next week. I think our processing, and we want the documentation from the municipality and potentially the school district. And I don't think we should deviate from the procedure we've used for the past year.
Okay. Thank you. Do you have any?
I'm in agreement with Chris. I think we got this.
Thank you both, gentlemen. Would one of you care to make a motion to table?
I'll make the motion to table
I'll
until next week.
I thank you both. If there are no other concerns or comments, we'll take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sonato?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes?
Motion carries.
Thanks, Ryan. Thank you both, Dan and Chris. Next on our agenda, we have warrant registers that have been submitted to us by the County Controller's Office, listing of all the bills that they have paid. These two documents are dated February 4 and February 7, and I'll give my two colleagues the time that they would need to look them over. And then, gentlemen, once you've done that, I could entertain a motion for us to accept these documents.
I'll make the motion to accept them.
I'll second the motion.
I thank you both. Are there any questions from either of you? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call from Ryan, please.
Commissioner Sonato?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Our next item are the minutes of last week's commissioners meeting, which was February 4th. I do want to make one minor correction on the first page. It's a misspelling under the first large paragraph. Vanessa Lovely. It should be Lovlie rather than Loulie. I believe that's how it's spelled. But Ryan, if you wouldn't mind double checking.
Yes, of course.
Thank you so much. But I'll give Dan and Chris any time they would need to look over these minutes. And again, once you're ready, we could take a motion to approve them.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second the motion.
I thank you both. and I'll see if either of you have any concerns. Hearing none, we'll ask for a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sonato?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Ryan. Under written communications, we actually have 5 documents that we need to enter into the record. The first is from Wallace Pancher Engineering, a group out of Waynesburg, Pennsylvania. And this is on behalf of Elwood Specialty Metals. They are looking for an expansion of their existing facility in Wilmington Township. And they are sending correspondence to the Department of Environmental Protection's Northwest Regional Office up in Meadville. And various documents that they need to have reviewed by DEP and then ultimately some approval on the part of DEP. Their notification to us is required by law. We don't take any action other than just entering them into the record. But it is good news for our county and specifically for Wilmington Township that it looks as though the company is going to do some expanding. And Dan, you live in Wilmington Township. Maybe you even know a little bit more about it.
It's just, I think this is just for their lot outside that they took away when they put that $25 million expansion on just recently. And then they were talking about doing this, so this is getting done.
Good. That is good news. So thank you, Dan. The next letter has come in from Gateway Engineers out of Butler, Pennsylvania. This is on behalf of, this is another expansion. This is on behalf of Burner International, which is located in Shenango Township. And they will be submitting to the DEP an application for an NPDES Chapter 105 permit. And this is signed by Mr. Brian Hone of Gateway Engineers. So it looks as though we're seeing some expansion at that facility out in Shenango. So that's also good news. The third document comes from, also from, bear with me a minute, also from Gateway Engineers out of Butler. And this is on behalf of Peoples Natural Gas. And it looks as though they're undertaking work in the borough of New Wilmington on South Market Street for a gas line replacement. And they are applying to DEP for a general permit 5, which involves utility line stream crossings. This is signed by Ryan Bowser. So once again, this goes to DEP in Meadville, and it's on behalf of Peoples Gas for a gas line replacement project in the borough of New Wilmington. The next document comes from ARM Group LLC out of Hershey, Pennsylvania. Actually, this one and the following one. The first one is the project description involves the Green Meadows Solar Project involving the construction of a 40 megawatt AC solar farm located on 449 acres in Washington Township. And they are submitting an application to the DEP for a National Pollution Elimination System permit, which authorizes the discharge of stormwater during construction activities. And once again, this is the Green Meadows Solar Project in Washington Township. The second letter, also from ARM Group, the same project, well, maybe not quite the same. This is giving us notification for the Green Meadows Switchyard Project, which involves the construction of an electrical switchyard, interconnection, and access road on approximately 7 acres, also in Washington Township. And let me go back to the first one, because the first one noted some locations in the township, including Jackson School Road, State Route 19, Golf Course Road, which is State Route 1016, and Georgetown Road, which is State Route 1018. That's the solar project. The second letter, as noted, is the Switchyard project, 7 acres, and that location is on George Washington Road in the Township of Washington. Gentlemen, those are the letters we've received. Chris, do you have any questions or concerns?
No, it's all straightforward, Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Kennedy, anything?
None.
Okay. Would one of you care to make a motion for us to accept these letters?
I make a motion, we accept those letters.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you both. If there are no other concerns, we can ask Ryan to call the roll, please.
Commissioner Sonato?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much. Commissioner reports and comments, I get to go first today. The only thing I'll note is that last Wednesday, Commissioner Sanada and I were able to stop down at the Newcastle Public Library. Hope I'm not stealing your thunder. The America 250 had a check presentation to the library, I believe it was $5,000. And they had a nice little ceremony that we were able to attend. And looking ahead, tomorrow, I'm hoping perhaps all three of us will be able to go out to the public meeting of the the Lawrence County Planning Commission, which will be held at the Neshannock Township Municipal Building. And then finally, courthouse is going to be closed on Monday, the 17th, in observance of federal holiday being President's Day. That's all I have this morning. Mr. Sanada.
Well, I'll echo your comments on the library. I thought it was a nice little presentation. That's something we're all looking forward to next year for the 250th anniversary of the country. And I know that our Lawrence County Tourist Promotion Agency, and Jenny especially is our representative there, and she's done a great job in working with the 250 committee. I just happen to know the lady, she used to work in Harrisburg, who's in charge of that, and I think she's doing a nice job. So I think that it's something important for us, and we're going to have a lot of activity this year with the cathedrals, big celebration, United Way celebration, and the 250 celebration coming up. When you look at that, that's next year. So I'm saying all these activities are starting to come together. I know we talked about a lot last year, and I know that the county's been part of most of all of that. We've shown our support. So that's pretty much I have said. I congratulate the Philadelphia Eagles on their Super Bowl win. It was good for Pennsylvania, and the other side of the state, I wish it was the Steelers, but we'll take a Pennsylvania team because those type of things generate lots of revenue for the state. So that's really all I have today.
Thank you, Chris. Dan?
I really have nothing except you two better behave next week. I won't be here. So I'm gonna finally take a vacation week and get out of here for a week.
It's a well-deserved one. So we wish you an enjoyable and safe travel. Thank you, Dan. We go down to new business. We have the first resolution, number 26, comes to us from the planning department, and Rebecca Schaefer is with us from that office. Rebecca, it's always good to have you here. I realized there wasn't a chair there, so next time we'll make sure of that. You have a proposal, this is number 26, regarding the maintenance of our various county parks and the boat launches. Could you fill us in on what this all involves, please?
Yeah, so every year we open it up to bid for our maintenance on all of our boat launches and all of the facilities we have, including West Park, Quaker Falls, and the Davidge Bike Trail, and the 5 boat launches. So we put that out to pen bid because it's over the threshold as to what we can do for professional services. So all this is doing is asking our approval and permission to run the ad starting, I think we're gonna run it on Monday, which is a holiday, and the 21st, Friday and Monday.
That's fine. We do this every year. I assume you'll be in consultation, if you haven't already, with the controller's office.
Yes, they're aware that it's gonna be run, so they'll be the ones coming in to open
Right.
the bids when it's time.
Okay, thank you for that. I'll see if Commissioner Kennedy has any questions.
Not at all.
Thank you, Dan. Commissioner Sanada? All right.
Very thorough, Rebecca.
Well, if we take action, that'll allow Rebecca to move forward. So one of you care to make a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Thank you both, gentlemen. I'll note it attached to our proposed resolution is the actual language that will go out in the advertisement for the bidding. We have a motion, a second. Any other concerns? And if not, we'll ask Ryan to please call the roll.
Commissioner Sonato?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Now you can move ahead.
Okay.
All
you very
right,
much.
thanks, Rebecca.
Uh-huh.
Take care. Next on our agenda would be proposed resolution 27. This involves our jail, and we have Deputy Warden, Commissioner Spielvogel is with us, and Loretta, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome. Appreciate your coming over. Sorry you had to walk through that cold weather to get
Oh,
here.
well, it gets the heart racing, right? A little bit of cardio, I guess.
That's right.
It's not that far at all.
I think as people know, we've been communicating with other counties, offering them space in our jail for interest of justice juvenile offenders. And we have a proposed contract with Venango County.
Yes.
And my understanding is they have approved the contract, so now it's up to us. But let me turn it over to you, Loretta, if you could fill us in on all the details, please.
Absolutely, thank you. What we're attempting to do, starting to do, is proactively gain the contracts with different counties. Because as you know, if something happens involving a juvenile and they need to be placed in an adult facility, it happens quickly, and they need to have a placement because the juveniles do have to be sight and sound separated from the other adult offenders. So in an effort to make that process easier for the counties, we are proactively going to the counties and visiting and speaking with the wardens as well as commissioners if they're available to get the contract signed on their end, return to us, and then taking the action as we're doing today to have that contract in place in the event that they do need to utilize it. At this point in time, we don't have anyone from Venango, and there's not anything pending for Venango, but just to have the contract in place would make it easier for us at that point in time.
No, I appreciate that, and if I'm reading the resolution correctly, if they were to send a juvenile offender here, our county would receive payment of $500 per day
Yes.
for each offender. I'm going to see if Commissioner Sanada has any questions.
No, I think Deputy Ward has been very thorough on this. I think it's something we're going to be talking more intensively with the prison board as we move forward to aggressively market Lawrence County Jail. So that's something we'll be dealing with next week.
Thank you. Chris? Mr. Kennedy, any questions for?
I'm good, just go find about 20 more of these. Because Chris says 20, I say 30.
I won't tell you the capacity then.
No, we appreciate all your efforts, and we're glad to enter into this agreement with Venango County. The nice thing is that this board and prior boards
Yes.
have enjoyed a good working relationship with the commissioners in Venango County. So we're happy to do this. Could I have a motion for resolution 27, please?
I'll make them.
I'll second.
Thank you both, gentlemen. Any other concerns or comments? If not, we'll ask Ryan to call the roll.
Commissioner Sonato?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Thanks for coming over.
Thank you. Good seeing you.
As I always
Thank
say, you're welcome to stay, but if you have to head back, we
Thank
understand. Thanks, Loretta.
Thanks, Loretta.
Take care.
Sure.
Next on the agenda, we have a transfer request from the voter's office They are asking that $550 come from their contingency line item into that of the line item of training for election workers. And that'll be here before you know it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, nominating petitions go out a week from today. So our staff is already working on lining up the training that they do each election season for the men and women who work at the polling places. Thank you, Loretta.
Thank you.
Take care. So this is a request for a $550 transfer. Would one of you care to make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any questions? I apologize. I should have asked if you have any questions first. If not, gentlemen, we'll ask Ryan to call the roll.
Commissioner Sanada?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes?
Motion carries.
Thanks, Brian. The next resolution to which we do have to assign a number, would this be number 28, Ryan?
Yes.
Thank you. This is a budget amendment, and it's been requested and presented to us by the district attorney's office. And Joe, if I misstate anything, please set me straight. It looks as though we had some unanticipated or perhaps unbudgeted revenue in the amount of $434,971 under the line item of district attorney report management system. And then they're asking that that same amount be applied to their line item of report management system expense account.
That's correct.
Trust I have that right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And I'll ask Mr. Sanada if he has any questions.
Pretty straightforward, Chair.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Kennedy?
The only comment I got is this was with Josh went out and got money to do the operating system for all the police departments in Orange County. And we thank Ben Bush for helping get this done, and also the Elwood group for giving us the money to get this done. So,
I thank you for noting all of that, and thanks to the DA, as you just said. Was the full amount from the Elwood group, or
Yes,
was that?
it was.
It was the full amount?
Yeah, Ben and I walked over with a check the other day. We couldn't get Josh to sign the back of it for us, but, so we could direct deposit it. But, Josh got it done and got it taken care of. And he's getting that process and working to get this done in the next year.
You know, and again, I appreciate, first of all, your efforts and for clarifying. For some reason, I had it in my feeble mind that it was a partial government grant and a partial company grant. But this is entirely from the
So-
company.
Yes,
Okay, thank you for that. And boy, thanks to the Elwood Group, one of our county's largest employers. And it just proves once again, they've been a very generous organization to this county in many, many ways. But thank you especially, Dan. Any other concerns? Could I have a motion for Resolution 28, please?
I'll make that.
I'll second.
Thank you both. If there are no other comments, we can have Ryan call the roll.
Commissioner Sanada?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes?
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. Our commissioner board will meet a week from today, Tuesday, February 18 at 10 a.m. in this room. It's open to the public. Tomorrow, the Lawrence County Planning Commission will hold their monthly public meeting at noon at the Neshannock Township Municipal Building on Mercer Road. Courthouse will be closed next Monday, February 17, in observance of the President's Day federal holiday. And I'll note, and I'll pass this over to Commissioner Sanada, it's possible that we may be moving the meeting date of the prison board. Do you have any comments on that?
Yeah, Chairman, we are going to move it, the prison board to next Tuesday at 12 o'clock. We're gonna have a commissioner meetings at 10, then we have a retirement board meeting at 11. And now we're gonna be moving the prison board to 12 o'clock. Ryan, we're gonna have to do the legal notice.
Okay.
So if you wanna start working on that, so we get to make it official, it will be 12 o'clock or a few minutes after if the retirement board goes over, which I don't think will happen, but you never know. As you know, any day, we could have a full house here next week. as we did a few weeks ago. So, but now that's what's on the plan unless something changes. At this point, we will be planning on it for next Tuesday.
Well, thank you, Chris. So at this point in time, and we'll do the appropriate, as he said, we'll do the appropriate legal ad that will cancel the meeting which had been scheduled for the 19th and move it back a day to the 18th in this room. So thank you for that. Under public comment, I'll note for the record that the audience room is empty at this point, so we don't have any public comments. But before we conclude, I'll see if my colleagues have any final remarks. Mr. Sonata, anything?
Nothing else.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. None. Thank you. And we always ask Joe and Ryan, anything on your part? No. Thank you, Ryan.
Nothing.
All right, well, thank you all. Appreciate those of you who have joined in to watch or listen to us. And there being no other business to be brought before the board, may I please have an adjournment? Oh, if Debbie Walker's watching from the news, we'll have your packet for you upstairs. But may I have an adjournment motion, please?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Thank you both. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, the same sign. The motion carries. This meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Hold on, that way.
Been here for a few weeks. I have a health issue.